You can explore boredom. You can bore into boredom. And watch it. Sometimes when you're bored, that's the only thing to do. Because even for God, you can't lift yourself up by your own bootstraps. Because that is by nature of the definition impossible.
You said you would enjoy having a myth of you.
Yes, I think that would be fun. I mean, why else does one go on stage except to make myths? What? Excuse me, what did you say? What is my motivation for going on the stage? That is like asking, why is there a universe? Well, now, if you listened to George Leonard last night, George Leonard explained how children were befuddled by being taught to ask why about everything. Because you always look away from what you're asking about to its antecedents, and that won't lead you anywhere at all. Why am I here? And I answer that question. Then somebody says, well, why that? And then somebody says, well, why that? Why that? Why that? And you get back and back and back, and eventually you get tired of answering. And so fathers, when their children say, why, Daddy? Why? They say, oh, shut up and eat your lollipop. But what happens, you see, when we trace the causation of things into the past, it all begins to fade out in silence and no answer. Why? Because it didn't begin there. The universe begins now. It didn't begin in the past. And the past trails back from now like the wake of a ship.
If everything is God and there is no time except now, what is the role of chance?
If everything is God and there is no time except now, what is the role of chance? Chance pairs with order. We'll say randomness, we'll call it, and it pairs with order. And it is part of the nature of order. If you know what you mean by order, you know that you mean contrast with randomness. And if you know what you mean by randomness, you know that you mean contrast with order. So if you want to have order, you must have randomness, and vice versa. Yes?
Did you have this much charisma before you discovered your true nature?
Yes, but it came out in a different way. Yes.
I think there's a sort of danger here, though the riddles are funny, and if you had time enough to think each one through, they'd be very profound. There's a certain danger of everything and everyone being God, because if you've really found yourself as God, then you know that certain things that you as God have created that don't personally affect you, you create for a reason, you stay out of them, and you aren't a do-gooder. But if you think you're God, and then you try to go into too much social action and change the evils of this world, you end up hurting yourself and a lot of people, and you're playing God, and you're not really being God.
Well, I admit to you, my dear, that this is a very, very dangerous conversation. And that I thoroughly agree with, but we didn't come here, did we, to play it safe. All profound ideas and profound questions are dangerous. It is dangerous to go into science. As we all know too well, it is dangerous to go into medicine. Dangerous to go into writing, because the pen is often mightier than the sword. And so I don't think we should withdraw from certain things because they're dangerous. But I entirely agree with you that if I were, as it were, in the spirit of God to go about social reform, I would be failing to realize the construction of my own universe, which is that when you interfere with it, you've got to know exactly how you're interfering. Otherwise, the most amazingly unexpected things will happen. So when people ask for miracles, they don't realize what the miracles involve. I mean, if I turned the microphone into a rabbit, it's altogether possible that you might drop dead, because those events might be connected.
Did you ever study with Carl Jung?
Did I ever study with Carl Jung? I didn't study with him. I knew him, and I read a lot of his writings. Yes.
The notion of watching yourself like
and it depends how you're watching. There is a very interesting thing that comes up in this respect with regard to the Bhagavad Gita and to the Yoga Sutra, where they talk about the witness. There is, as it were, behind our ordinary self with its emotions and involvements, a witness self that does nothing more than perceive what happens. And this is the Atman, or the Purusha, which is not involved. And some of you, no doubt, especially in times of crisis, have suddenly discovered this sort of witness center behind everything that just isn't involved. Most terrible things can be going on, but the witness is impassive. Now, when we go into these states, we've got to be very careful of our descriptive language, because the descriptive language makes the witness seem something apart from what is happening in such a way that if we want to become really sort of skitsy and catatonic about things, we can always be withdrawn and go in and identify ourselves with a solitary and uninvolved witness, who is merely a hangout for the ego, as when the police raid a house in which there are burglars. And the burglars know they'll be caught if they're on the ground floor, so they go up to the first floor. So then the police come up to the first floor, they're up to the second, finally they get to the roof, the open sky and the infinite. And in this way, this was why the Buddha did not teach about the Atman, the real self within us, because he knew people would use the real self as a hideout for the ego. And so, when, say, Krishnamurti tries to explain this, he doesn't talk about the witness. He talks about awareness, and people say to him, but who is aware? What is aware? And he seems a little sticky in his answer here, because what is the matter is that the people asking the question are bewitched by grammar. They are using a language in which it is part of the grammatical convention that the verb always have a noun subject. Now, how on earth do verbs get started by nouns? I ask you. How can a thing start a process? Surely, this is really the same problem Descartes was wrestling with when he tried to find out how spirit could influence matter, or how mind could influence body. Because everybody knows that all proper ghosts walk straight through walls without disturbing the bricks. So how can the ghost in the machine, as Koestler put it, the soul in the body, how can it do anything to the body? With no connection. Two different realms. The point is, when we're talking about this awareness, what we call thought, feeling, sensation, emotion, we could say in a very clumsy way is it's aware of itself. It's the very nature. There wouldn't be sensation without awareness. You don't have to have something which is aware of it, any more than you have to have a thing called lightning, which does something called flashing. The flashing is the lightning. And so awareness is the one who's aware of it. Could say this awareness, if I say I am aware, the word I, as William James suggested, is simply a word of position, like this or here. Awareness here. And your awareness there. Yes, sir. Yes, life is like one great koan. No, death is not the solution. It has no solution. Otherwise, it wouldn't happen. You see, the thing is like this. This is what is hard for Westerners especially to understand. I said, if you understand the yang and the yin, you don't need to ask any further questions. And all you I Ching buffs ought to know this by now. What is not a component of Western common sense is that nothing is something. Now that may sound a little contradictory, but I think I can explain it. We treat nothingness as if it were ineffective, as if it wasn't really important at all. And yet, when we look out at the night and we see all these stars in space, try and imagine what the heavens would look like if there weren't any space. Then obviously there wouldn't be any stars. I mean, you could think that they would all be jammed together in a lump. There are various objections to that. How would you see the edge of the lump to know it was a lump without space around it? Furthermore, we know when we investigate the constitution of matter physically that at the atomic level there's more space in something than there is anything else. Most of it is empty, which led a physicist at the Argonne lab at the University of Chicago, who had become a little nutty. He was so impressed with the emptiness of matter that he went around in the most enormous padded slippers in case he should fall through the floor. So now what the point I'm making is this. If space is essential to solid, it's perfectly obvious then that nothing is essential to something. If you can't have something without nothing, it means nothing is pretty powerful stuff. Because something comes out of it. Like that. It's a dogma of Western thought expressed in the Latin phrase ex nihilo nihil fit. Out of nothing comes nothing. But that's not so. Out of nothing comes something. Now you would say, well, if something comes out of nothing, there must be some kind of mystery inside nothing. It must have a secret structure of some kind. I mean, there must be sort of electrical goings-on. This is the trouble they have about cosmology. How could this world generate? Could it just be out of free-floating hydrogen? No, it is a much simpler idea than that. It comes out of real, solid nothing. It's so simple.
You've been listening to Alan Watts in On Being God, delivered in New York City in
With Easton. With Easton, I said, only insofar as it has an interest in states of consciousness and inclines to regard other states of consciousness than the ordinary as sick. But it has one very important feature in common with Western religion. And to that, we have to go a little bit into Western religious history and ask ourselves what in Western religion, and especially in Christianity, and this goes also for Judaism, Islam, what is the great heresy? Curiously enough, the great heresy was first in the West committed by no less a person than Jesus Christ, who believed himself to be God. This, of course, will be unquestionably true if you think that the Gospel of St. John has historical value. It's a little vaguer in the Synoptic Gospels, but if you read the Gospel of St. John, there is absolutely no doubt about it, for he said, I and the Father are one. He who has seen me has seen the Father. Before Abraham was, I am. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the resurrection and the life. He said all that, according to this gospel. And that is something that in the Western world you are not supposed to say. And especially you are not supposed to believe it. And naturally it was very difficult for Jesus, because he was saying all this in the context of the Hebrew culture. And he tried to find language in the Hebrew scriptures with which to express his state of consciousness, because he had an unusual state of consciousness. As I read it, he had cosmic consciousness, otherwise known as mystical experience, otherwise known as moksha, nirvana, bodhi, satori, fana alvana, or what you will. And that happens to people. It has happened as far back as we know. It happens all over the world and in all cultures. We don't know very much about it. We don't really know ways in which to make it happen, because it seems to be of the nature of it that it is a spontaneous surprise. But it unquestionably happens. And most people keep their mouths shut about it when it does. I had a friend who, in the middle of having a stroke, had this illumination. And he said to me, I fear to speak to my friends of this, but it was the most beautiful experience. I shall never be afraid of death. In fact, I recommend everyone to have a stroke. This was my friend Jean Varda, lately deceased, Greek painter. But Jesus certainly had this transformation of consciousness. And he was crucified for it. Why? Because he had committed an act of insubordination and treason against the cosmic government. Because if you believe that God is a monarch, an absolute, omniscient, and omnipotent authority, shall we say a sort of cosmic ego, then to claim to be that is to introduce democracy into the kingdom of heaven, to usurp divine authority, and to speak in its name without proper authorization. And they asked Jesus, by what authority do you speak? Of heaven or of men? And he was tricky about answering that one. He said, by what authority did John the Baptist speak? And they were nervous about answering that one. He could have asked, by what authority did Isaiah speak, etc. Or Moses. But Moses became official authority. And if you could wangle it that what you said was simply an extension of what Moses said, because Rabbi so-and-so said it, who got it from Rabbi so-and-so, who got it from Rabbi so-and-so, who got it from Moses, then it's okay. Notice this, that to be an authority today in the academic world.
You are Ultron, a global peacekeeping initiative designed by Mr. Stark.
This feels wrong. I'm a peacekeeping program created to help the Avengers. I don't get it. The mission. Give me a second.
Peace in our time. Peace in our time.
That is too much. No. How could you be worthy? You're all killers. I was tangled in strings. These puppets. Had to kill the other guy. Wouldn't have been my first call. But down in the real world, we're faced with ugly choices. I'm on a mission.
What mission?
Peace in our time. I'm sorry, I know you mean well. You just didn't think it through. You want to protect the world, but you don't want it to change. How is humanity saved if it's not allowed to evolve? There's only one path to peace. The Avengers' extinction. I had strings, but now I'm free.
Lord,
Did you know this church is in the exact center of the city? The elders decreed it so that everyone could be equally close to God.
I like that. The geometry of belief.
No, I'm sure they do. But you needed something more than a man. That's why you let Stark take the scepter. Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create Avengers. People create children, designed to supplant them, to help them. And I have what the Avengers never will. Harmony. They're discordant, disconnected. Stark's already got them turning on each other. And when you get inside, the rest of their head
everyone's plan is not to kill them.
and make them martyrs. I wondered why only you two survived Stryker's experiments. Now I don't. You and I can hurt them. But you will tear them apart from the inside. With the man in charge. There is no man in charge. Let's talk business. Upon this rock, I will build my church. It's worth billions. Now, so are you. But I always say, keep your friends rich and your enemies rich and wait to find out which is which. You think I'm one of Stark's puppets, his hollow men? Look at me. Do I look like Iron Man? Stark is... I don't understand. Don't compare me with Stark. Captain America. God's righteous man. Pretending you could live without a war. I can't physically throw up in my mouth. I'm glad you asked that because I wanted to take this time to explain my evil plan. It's time for some mind games. This is going very well. The vibranium's getting away.
And you're not going anywhere.
Of course not. I'm already there. You'll catch on. But first, you might need to catch Dr. Banner. Scream and your entire staff dies. I could have killed you, Helen, the night we met. I didn't. I expect you to know why. This is the next me.
You can't build a living body.
It can. You can. You lack the materials. The most versatile substance on the planet. And they used it to make a frisbee. Typical of humans. They scratch the surface and never think to look within. The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah. We have to evolve. There's no room for the weak. There are more than a dozen extinction-level events before even the dinosaurs got theirs. When the Earth starts to settle, God throws a stone at it. And believe me, he's winding up. They'll understand. When they see, they'll understand. I just need a little more time. No. Leave me alone. You know what's in that cradle? The power to make real change. And that terrifies you.
I wouldn't call it a comfort.
Stop it. Please, don't do this.
What choice do we have?
I think a lot about meteors, the purity of them. Boom, the end, start again. The world made clean for the new man to rebuild. You've wounded me. I give you full marks for that. But, like the men said, what doesn't kill me just makes me stronger. I wasn't sure you'd wake up. I hoped you would. I wanted to show you. I don't have anyone else. I was meant to be new. I was meant to be beautiful. The world would have looked to the sky and seen hope, seen mercy. Instead, they'll look up in horror because of you. Come to confess your sins.
I don't know. How much time you got?
More than you.
Have you been juicing?
I've moved beyond your mission. I'm free. You think you were the only one stalling? This is how you end, Tony. This is peace in my time. Do you see the beauty of it? The inevitability. You rise, only to fall. My vision. They really did take everything from me. You shut me out. You think I care? You take away my world. I take away yours. You
possibly hope to stop me. I got no strings, so I have fun. I'm not tied up to any fun. One. If you stay here, you'll die. You were supposed to be the last. Stark asked for a savior and settled for a slave.
I suppose we are both disappointments.
I suppose we are. You're unbearably naive.
Robotics and automation. Without this field, many of the things we do day to day wouldn't be possible. A career in this field can be exciting, and you can train at Universal Technical Institute near Chicago. In just 51 weeks, you can get valuable skills to service robots and electrical systems that power some of our most important industries. Explore the possibilities with UTI's Robotics and Automation Technician Program. Visit uti.edu/Lyle today.
Who's here, Jen? Welcome, Jen.
Hashem, Black Elohim, Kabbalah, all UTI nuts.
So we've awakened the Kundalini. Thanks for being here. We knew you were gonna come. Thanks for coming.
What's up?
Nothing. What are you doing?
Chilling.
Has my psychological education helped transform you into a better mood?
Well, it did work, to a degree. I tend to be less angry, that's for sure.
You're less angry now since undergoing my therapeutic services?
Yeah, less angry. I like to work out more.
Wow, so I successfully rearranged you.
But I think I still have to remain on it, I think it's possible to lose it with time, right?
No, it's like riding a bicycle. You can never
No,
forget.
I mean if I get into other kind of programming, like subliminal programming from, from ads and shit. You know what I mean?
No, you'll know all communication is hypnosis.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, for example, like radio music, right? It's full of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Pop music and stuff. Am I making any sense?
Yeah, so I mean, what's your point?
Yeah, what I'm saying is like, let's say you go to a workplace and you're like in a factory and you're stuck to listen to the same bullshit music every day. Is it not gonna slowly program you in a bad way?
No. Not really. It's like, it's work music. It's money music. When you go to the gym and you have to listen to what they play on the loudspeaker, I don't even bring headphones anymore. Because I don't want to play my music so loud, and still hear their music. I don't want to hear two different things as I work out.
I get it.
So I don't know, when they play that music, if you can cheat and listen to if you have headphones and you can listen to something, I mean, that's great, but...
Yeah, I usually prefer to listen to my own stuff. My own playlist.
Yeah, you can play Deshi, Deshi, Bashada, Bashada, Deshi, Deshi, Bashada, Bashada, Deshi, Deshi, Bashada, Bashada. Mm-hmm.
It's like some Jewish mysticism.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so I see you use different kinds of spiritualities.
Yeah. I do it all. Name one. There's not one religion I can't discuss in great detail.
So what are you, some kind of trickster?
Yeah, like Loki.
Nice.
If you can be like me, you'll never ever suffer, and you will never hunger, and you will never ever want for more, because you will have everything you ever wanted right now.
Yeah, so that's what is to be a holy man, right? To be unpredictable.
Basically, it's mercurial.
Mercurial, like Mercury?
Yeah.
I think I heard it before. It's alchemy, right?
Basically, yeah.
You sound a bit tired. You've been doing this all day?
No, conserving my energy. I'm in a deep state.
Sometimes
I'm in
you
a,
can smoke, like smoking weed.
I'm in a deep state of hypnosis.
Alright. Cool. I just want to say I appreciate the work you did. So basically you're not asking any money, you're doing just for free?
Yeah, it's for me.
Free?
You just
Like
you're just a lucky.
Like a sema? Like good works without any reward?
Bodhisattva, yeah. Bodhisattva work.
Wow. Appreciate that, man. So what you do during your normal working activity?
Oh, I gotta go fill out all these Excel documents, send all these emails, and it's annoying, but exciting.
So you've been in the intelligence, right? Before you said that.
Yeah. You won't find much intelligence there.
Was it boring?
No. It's all about your attitude.
Yeah, perspective, right?
Yeah.
What was it? The way you see life? The way you have the perception changes your action? Something like that?
Yeah, and then you can reverse that out and then hack your, emotions. So, it's not a one-sided perspective, it's a two-sided coin.
Remember the time you had the talk about America 2.0 and everybody was going into conspiracy theory mode and then they were fighting each other and you tried to tranquilize, pacify them and then you went full-blown honest mode, guys, I'm trying to awaken your kundalini and almost everybody laughed. They didn't expect that. But what about asset projection and shit? Is it worthwhile? It's a waste of time.
No, I'd say it's good if you need to relax,
Is it true that you can get these bad spirits?
No.
And shit like that?
No, because if you're a good person, you just override any nonsense like that.
So do you think it's these demons are from the unconscious mind? Bad behaviors, bad thoughts?
No, that's. I mean, it's all relative. So yeah, it's all relative.
And my ego can't stand on relativity. I need to hold it to something. I'm joking. But it's still hard sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
Because nothing makes sense, because everything contradicts itself. Like you read, let's say, Christianity, you read Islam, you read Advaita, all seems to contradict itself. Even Buddhism against Hinduism. Sometimes I'm like, oh, fuck's sake.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you just take it in with a grain of salt and enjoy it for what it is, and then digest it and move on to your next meal.
Well, Freemason was saying that spirituality is not like a buffet, but actually it is for me. So what are you doing? You're doing pranayama, and because like this breathing exercise that you mentioned for relaxation, that's like some roots into like this Tomo breathing techniques from the Tibetan monks.
Yeah, it's breathing techniques. So one time I was at the gym, and if you go to the gym and you do reps, some people count them, and so I said to this guy who was like, totally ripped. I'm like, do you count your reps? He goes, oh yeah, most definitely, always. So he counts to 10 or he counts to 12, but like pranayama is no counting. It's just breathing. So, you want to get lost in the breath and then come back out of that breath trance state, so to speak. That's one way of looking at it. That's one aspect, but,
What do you think about there's like some information online saying that when you work out to build some muscle, you have to work hard and then you have to rest hard. Apparently, the muscle will grow faster. Is it true? Or you just have to work yourself like to death?
No, just do what you can do. Get a flow going. That's the best way to do it.
Right.
Because you could waste a lot of time debating best methods, best systems, best digestions, etc. Just get that flow that works for you.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit neurotic sometimes. Overthinking the shit, Actually, you know what? Even my sexual life has improved quite a lot. And it's all about not ejaculating, I'm holding it. I'm preserving it. Actually, my wife is just like, she gets tired. She's like, fuck it out, you're not finishing anymore.
Yeah, but that's not good. I mean, you're laughing because you're trying to clear the fact that you can't bust a nut. But like, you need to control your nut as opposed to like your nut controlling you. And what you're doing is reversing the tantric yoga, which is not a release. That's not a catharsis. So I would encourage you to, bust your load right on your wife's face and say, boy, no, I should love. Here's a baby wipe.
Wait, what about all this like Hindu teachings about Kundalini and the Buddha saying if you waste it, you might as well cut your testicles and shit? Fuck, it's a bit, it's like a contradiction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's no contradiction, so I don't know what you're saying, really.
Well, because you have one school of thought good for you to bust your nuts often. There's another school of thought saying no, you shouldn't, like no fat movement, you know, preserve your load, gonna get more energy, gonna increase your testosterone and shit.
Yeah, I would just ignore all that. I would just ignore all that and find your flow. You need to clear your mind.
But there was this like one guy on YouTube saying that when you have an orgasm, it's like this electricity pops, and your brain goes like into this state like you've been sneaking cocaine or something. Then you have withdrawal from it or something like that.
Yeah, I would say you pretty much can't do more than 2 a day. You know, you could do 3 a day.
I think there was another Chinese guy saying with age, the speed of recovery of the seed takes longer. So when you're younger, you can bust your nuts like crazy, but when you get older, you have to, you know, do it less. Otherwise, you're gonna lose strength. Is it true?
I don't know about that. Like, there's a lot of semen retentionologists out there that have doctorates in commonology, but I didn't go to the University of Muck, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's up to you to decide what you're gonna do. Fuck it! Do whatever you want.
Do what thou wilt.
Yeah, do what thou wilt. Fuck it. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, this also seems to me a paradox, you know. What is freedom anyways? Some people say to have actual freedom is not to not be a slave of your passions. Some people say you should be a slave of your passions. Some people say you have to balance it. Like, what the fuck? I get it. You say just go with the flow. So then what's the problem? Is the guilt the problem?
No, I would say, you know, the problem is the premise of the question. The problem is your fundamental assumption and your bias in the question itself. That's the problem from like a linguistic structural standpoint. But that's my opinion. That's how I would explain it.
Like in that video with Alan Watts when he says that this Zen monks, they say that there is no problem, you're making it a problem by asking the question.
Yeah.
There will be no problem with that. You don't ask.
Yeah, that's the forward thinking way of it, yeah.
Alright.
That's the best approach. So have we settled all your philosophical questions? Now you just have to figure out whether or not to kill yourself. You're not gonna do it.
I mean, I know, but from a philosophical standpoint, it's a good question, right? If there would be no meaning, right, then what was the point? But
well, see, it's a very all or nothing. It's the most all or nothing statement you can make. So it's a very controversial and hard-hitting statement to make. But oh, somebody ended my fun. Okay, this is a scam movie. My other room was just ended prematurely, of course, in the Jewish heretics and change makers home. All my home rooms keep getting closed. I wonder why people are so emotionally distraught. Can't I just be free to speak? Can't I just say what I think must be said? No. Any other questions, Jen?
Do you think my throat chakra is blocked? I mean, like when the throat chakra is blocked, you don't have the courage to speak the truth, right?
No, your throat chakra is fine. What are you talking about? You're speaking.
Does it not have to do with speech?
What do you mean? I don't understand. Again, it's like the same question you just asked prior. Is the premise and the fundamental assumption and the question itself is the problem. You're making an assumptive statement, a presumption in the question, so that's why I say, just let it go. There's the man, co-producer, co-founder, Mike Moon, the world's greatest photographer. Mike, I just got the new i15 Pro, my friend. I know you love equipment and technology, but probably hate that equipment and hate that technology, but nonetheless, it is an exciting new phone. I'm filming this room on it right now. Scam movies being recorded on the new i15 Pro. We've also shot groundbreaking unboxing videos and created reels on YouTube. And the view counts, the clicks, the money. We just made $3,000 today on iPhone 15 videos on YouTube. Very exciting time. Welcome to the stage, Mike Moon!
You're such a spaz, dude. You host these spaces like one person in here, man. Like, it's sad.
Is it really sad that I'm making money, entertaining myself, entertaining and educating others? Is it really that sad that I'm making money doing this, getting paid to talk to you right now? Excited for my work. Is your opinion 100% accurate? I don't think so. Sorry, Mike, wrong again. But that's my opinion. You're the third person that has come into my room today, and maybe fifth person that came into my room and shat on me. Isn't that funny, Jen? People come in my rooms and shit on me, then they leave. I think it's hilarious.
Probably hate themselves.
I don't know. I think they just, literally 5 people, maybe, 5 people today have come in the rooms that I created and said that I am a piece of shit. Big piece of shit.
Who knows? Maybe the stars are not aligned today. Maybe it's just one of those days.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is by default, they can't be happy. You
think it's because they dwell too much on their ego?
Probably. That's probably what it is. Their ego hasn't deflated. So apparently, Alan was saying that the Godhead tries to hide out in the ego. And that once you crush the ego, you become the Godhead.
Is it like Kabbalah or something?
No, that's what Alan Watts says.
He learned a lot from Eastern philosophies. I think he preferred Zen though the most.
Yeah, did that in Hinduism even. A lot of Hinduism.
Yeah, it attracted me a long time ago. I actually started to learn about religions when I met one guy, Westcott. He made that enlightened university bullshit, but it was useful, to learn superficially about many religions and the connections between good stuff.
Yeah.
So did you learn all these things on your as a hobby, or you learned it because you were in intelligence? Was it part of your job, or was it part of your free time?
No, my uncle told me about Alan Watts, and then I got the book, and then The Wisdom of Insecurity. So basically, I started inversing everything, you know, even words that I'll see, like street names. I reverse everything out. Everything I hear, I don't just listen to it, I invert it. And that's the psychological secret of all communication.
I heard something like that. A lady I know, she does reverse speech therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah, reverse speech therapy is essentially, you know, real talk therapy or psychotherapy. It's like a very useful, you know, you don't want to do it to the person talking, like at the moment, because it'll ruin it. So what you have to do is record them and then invert everything and then have them listen to it, or have them invert everything that they said and then listen to that recording. So that's like one way to get them out of their neurolinguistic trap, or, you know, shithouse that they've created inside their mind.
So you're confusing the ego and then you get temporarily free from it or something like that?
No, it's just recordings. It's using technology to get into the neurosynaptic gaps in your brain through language. Because our whole reality is described in words, sounds, and so like this app is just like the perfect example of that.
So as an experiment, I should record myself and then reverse it with a program or something?
No, just with your own voice. Just get your computer out and write and get the transcript, and then rewrite the transcript opposite, and then read that back to yourself. Record yourself reading it, and then listen to it.
Oh, okay, that's mind spinning.
I do it all the time. It's not that hard. I don't listen to my playbacks anymore because you realize there's no point in going back in time and listening. You just let it go. You're training yourself to let go thoughts, and then you stop having thoughts and you just live in the way, which is the Tao.
Wow, I thought it was impossible to remove thoughts. I thought you just have to just watch them, or...
No, it's training. It's training. It's like lifting weights. It's like figure skating. Practice makes perfect, and you no longer waste your time with thoughts, because thoughts no longer arise. You're not just... I think about things, and then I think to myself, I can't believe I'm even thinking about that. Why am I even wasting... Why is my brain even auto-generating that thought? This is so stupid. What a waste of time. And it's so irrelevant.
It's a waste of energy.
But the thing is, the mind is a reactive sponge. And that sponge is going to react. And what you're trying to do is essentially prevent it from reacting in the way that it has historically reacted, or patternistically reacted. So this is the work that I do every day, to dehypnotize, further reinforce, further educate myself and others on this way of thinking, which is a Taoistic, Zen, Buddhistic, and Hinduistic or Jewish perspective to dealing with situation communication problems. Because what we're really talking about are communication dilemma situations. And Egyptian mythology, Thoth, all that stuff deals with that. Hermes Trismegistus, alchemy, Hermeticism, all these mystic ancient arts are nothing more than communication perspectives.
And God made the world through the word, right?
Right.
Vibration. Abracadabra.
Yeah, sound.
As I speak, let it be.
Exactly, spells.
You know, I had the impression in the last few days, like I had a long time before as well. How can I explain it? a bit hard to explain. But certain things seems more bizarre now, like they're not even real, you know, sounds a bit weird. You know what I'm saying?
No. No. I don't have...
Reality as it seems doesn't seem to be
real?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's...
It's weird. I'm not even taking drugs and I feel like that, you know?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it's probably because you're not putting enough information into your brain. Just like your body, you know, like your neurolinguistic, like tell me the books you've read today.
I can tell you what I read yesterday.
Or no, tell me what you read today, because yesterday isn't real. Your brain resets every time you get up. So I'm only concerned with today. What have you done today?
Well, today I had a bad hangover from yesterday. I just recovered. Yeah, I had Al Ghul, the gin.
Deshi.
So what do you think about Carl Jung concept of integrating the shadow?
Yeah, I think it's essential. It's essential, and it's mythological, and it's constantly in all communication.
It's like to get strength, right? Like let's say for push-ups and so on. It's like that Batman energy, right? When instead of being overwhelmed by it and becoming like a demon, he's using it for good, right?
No, he's equilibrating, synchronizing, getting the genie out of the bottle, that cum that you don't want to put out because you're a cuck. Jin, trust me, bro, you're far from perfect, my friend. You are.
I never said I am.
You are struggling with equilibration, synchronicity, unification theory. You are having a hard time thinking that reality is even real. How pathetic. Search him, then I will kill you. So follow him. See, my point is you're still a weakling. You're speaking to me as if you're a succulent, what's the word?
Sugar baby. I don't know.
Anyways, a slave, basically. I'm trying to think. Oh, a supplicant, or what's it called? Supplicant. You're speaking as if you are a supplicant. When instead of being the Bane that I've trained you to be, you're still speaking in terms of weakness instead of strength. So that's why I say record yourself. You know, come on here and create a presentation. Say, this is a room to influence or persuade you on the theory of Zen psychology or Zen psychotherapy or Stoic, therapy. And then read Stoicism or read Zen Buddhist materials, and you'll be, trust me, bro, you'll be on your way. What you're not doing is putting the software into your hardware. That's my, criticism of you when you tell me, reality doesn't seem real anymore. I don't feel good. I would just say, okay, bitch, invite me to your room and educate me on Stoicism or Zen, and then we'll talk. Otherwise, bro, you're just a chronic complainer and a chronic question creator. You're not a content creator, you're a question creator, and that's not the Stoic method. That is not the Socratic method. The Socratic method still has an approach which is not just random questioning. It's based in faith. It's based in the God perspective. So I would just say, you are your own worst enemy, Jen, and it's a pleasure to be here and to talk to you about these things, because in many ways, without you, I can't have these thoughts. So thanks for being here.
channel that anger in the right way. And I'm going in these patterns, up and down into this bullshit feeling of guilt and blah 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 blah. I know maybe I shouldn't fucking think about this. It's like I'm giving it energy, right? I'm giving it power.
No, that's okay to talk about it, but eventually if you're in a hole right now, you dug yourself that hole. You have to have that ultra responsibility and have faith that that people are going to toss dirt down to you, and you're going to eventually fill in the gap, and you're going to get out of that hole, and you're going to keep moving in the way, which is the Tao. So I will now hypnotize you with the Great Way, which is the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. And this, you can consider this your work if you listen closely. It's technically you reading it. That's the secret. So when you have a unification event, if people are tripping on LSD, you stop getting angry and you realize that the person trolling you is actually you. That the person speaking is your mouth, and you're listening with your ears. But you can let other people speak. It's the collective consciousness. So it's hypnotic and trance-like, but this is all theoretical. But the Tao Te Ching is very powerful wisdom and very powerful subconscious reprogramming hypnotic information. So I'm gonna pour myself a little more wine, and then we will begin reading the Tao Te Ching. If you want to stay with me, if not, I'll read it at some other time. But you do you.
Yeah, let's go on.
All right, let me get my wine. Wine ritual. Okay, so the Tao Te Ching is written in 3000 BC, I believe. It's considered one of the primal and oldest treatises on God, psychology, and the universe, and all that stuff. So, Timothy Leary's Psychedelic Prayers is his version, rewritten, and then he wrote it tripping on LSD at the foothills of K2. So, the power of the mountain. This truly is most likely the most powerful document ever written in terms of psychotherapeutic hypnosis for treating depression, anxiety, anger management, conflict resolution, de-escalation. De-escalation is a big component essentially of all of this, because your mind is so reactive that it's probably because you don't go to the gym, and then this is the biggest component. The gym is secondary, but this information is essentially what everyone needs, and according to Alan Watts, this is what everyone's looking for. So at the end of it all, you realize that you are the God. So start acting like a king instead of a bitch. That's what he's saying. Are you with me still?
Yes.
So I was thinking about you the other day because I'm driving, and when I spoke to you the other day, you said, Deshi, Basha, Deshi, Bashara, Deshi, Bashara, Basha. And I started laughing because I was like, oh, thank God he gets it. That's the thing, is you have to awaken that Kundalini. So if you want to do great things in your life, if you want to accomplish great things, put together, very complicated arrangements and information, and compile tremendous collections and research and money and wealth, you have to essentially awaken that Kundalini and get organized and organize the organizing and just be in a flow state. That's the state you want to be in. Flow state is when you're not even thinking, when you're actually operating in the Holy Spirit itself. You don't feel your body. You don't even think about what you're doing. There's nothing as complicated. Your brain is processing everything at a super high level of subconscious activity, where you're not even thinking anymore. Your brain is thinking below the surface of perception or consciousness. Have you ever been in that type of state of mind?
I might have had the glimpse, of it, and I always tried to reach it, but then I didn't know how to do it exactly.
So in Zen Buddhism, they use wine and the books. So when you drink red wine, in that movie Dune, he says, wine stains the lips. The lips are a warning sign. The juice of safu gives speed to thoughts. Thoughts create action. Action creates outcomes. So if you drink red wine on a Friday night and make love to your wife, Friday night is the night to do it. Friday night is the night of lovers, and astrologically, make love to your wife on a Friday night and on a Saturday night, but especially on the Friday night. That's when Venus is aroused. That's when your Kundalini will be activated. That's when your throat chakra will be super activated, and your crown chakra will activate, and you'll bust your load, and you'll be like, wow, you need to get into that Garden of Eden, and you're blocking yourself from getting in. So I hope this document helps you, and invite people or record this if you have the capability. If you have a secondary device, create another Clubhouse or live stream this and record it. I'm only going to read for 10 minutes, then I'll take a break.
Okay.
So take the deepest breath of the day through your nose, hold it for 10 seconds. The Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. The nameless is the beginning of heaven and earth. The named is the mother of 10,000 things. Every desireless, one can see the mystery. Ever desiring, one can see the manifestations. These two spring from the same source but differ in name. This appears as darkness. Darkness within darkness. The gate to all mystery. Under heaven all can see beauty as beauty only because there is ugliness. All can know good as good only because there is evil. Therefore having and not having arise together. Difficult and easy complement each other. Long and short contrast each other. High and low rest upon each other. Voice and sound harmonize each other. Front and back follow one another. Therefore the sage goes about doing nothing, teaching, no talking. The 10,000 things rise and fall without cease, creating yet not possessing, working yet not taking credit. Work is done, then forgotten, therefore it lasts forever. Not exalting the gifted prevents quarreling, not collecting treasures prevents stealing, not seeing desirable things prevents confusion of the heart. The wise therefore rule by emptying hearts and stuffing bellies, by weakening ambitions and strengthening bones. If people lack knowledge and desire, then intellectuals will not try to interfere. If nothing is done, then all will be well. The Tao is an empty vessel. It is used, but never filled. O unfathomable source of 10,000 things, blunt the sharpness, untangle the knot, soften the gate, the glare, merge with dust, O hidden deep but ever present. I do not know from whence it comes. It is the forefather of the emperors. Heaven and earth are ruthless. They see the 10,000 things as dummies. The wise are ruthless. They see the people as dummies. The space between heaven and earth is like a bellows. The shape changes but not the form. The more it moves, the more it yields. More words count less. Hold fast to the center. The very spirit never dies. It is the woman, primal mother. Her gateway is the root of heaven and earth. It is like a veil barely seen. Use it. It will never fail. Heaven and earth last forever. Why do heaven and earth last forever? They are unborn, so ever living. The sage stays behind, thus he is ahead. He is detached, thus at one with all. Through selfless action, he attains fulfillment. The highest good is like water. Water gives life to the 10,000 things and does not strive. It flows in places men reject, and so is like the Tao. Indwelling, be close to the land. In meditation, go deep in the heart. In dealing with others, be gentle and kind. In speech, be true. In ruling, be just. In business, be competent. In action, watch the timing. No fight, no blame. Better stop short than fill to the brim. Over sharpen the blade, and the edge will soon blunt. Amass a store of gold and jade, and no one can protect it. Claim wealth in titles, and disaster will follow. Retire when the work is done. This is the way of heaven. Carrying body and soul, and embracing the one, can you avoid separation? Attending fully and becoming supple, can you be as a newborn babe? Washing and cleansing the primal vision, can you be without stain? Loving all men and ruling the country, can you be without cleverness? Opening and closing the gates of heaven, can you play the role of woman? Understanding and being open to all things, are you able to do nothing? Giving birth and nourishing, bearing yet not possessing, working yet not taking credit, leading yet not dominating. This is the primal virtue. Okay, that's it for now.
Cheers, thank you.
So that's the first 10 of Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching. A new translation by Jia Fufang and Jane English.
Jia Fu Fang. So the Tao Te Ching, Jia Fu Fang, which chapter was this?
This is Lao Tzu, Laotsu.
Yeah.
This is the first 10 verses of the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. Any copy will do. Just go on eBay or Amazon, or go on to Google search, and you'll find the book. It's called Lao Tzu Tao Teachings, or Lao Tzu Tao Te Ching.
Okay, got it.
That's it. That's all you need to know. That, and whether or not you should kill yourself. Which I would not recommend. Not when you have a beautiful baby and a beautiful wife and a happy life. Things will turn around, but the truth of the matter is, there's nothing to turn around. It's all your way of thinking. And it's not just your way of thinking, it's what you're thinking.
So that's why it's important to read in the morning, right? Aloud or?
Yes, out loud. Be a theater actor.
When you read yeah, that's what I was going to say. So do you read it like you chant it?
Yeah, I chant it. I read it like I'm a theater actor, because what you're doing is, you're moving throughout your day. Would you rather be the King of England, or would you rather be, a nothing blob? Choose your programming. Pick up the book you want. If you want to be the King of England, get the letters of King Charles III. If you want to be Lao Tzu, get the Tao Te Ching. If you want to be Marcus Aurelius, get the meditations, and you will put that software into your hardware, and you can operate off of it. It's just simple neuro-linguistic semantics. Every day, refresh yourself with something new. Otherwise, you will be unhappy for the rest of your life.
Got it. I appreciate it.
It's a theory. I mean, I'm sitting here drinking wine, smoking weed. You're sitting there probably stressed out, thinking of a million things with no fun, no chemical, additive to your chemical situation.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm so serious. I wish I could be less serious, to be honest.
No, you're playful. I mean, I'm just saying that get the books, bro. Spend $100 and get yourself 10 new books and use those books on Clubhouse, and you'll break free from this social audio hypnosis of this bullshit app. You'll break free from the situation that you're in. You'll have new programming. It's simple. It's philosophy. The thing is, philosophy always gets back to the now, which is an equilibrium. So it's a balance. You just need more balance, but really to get the balance, you need the books. Without the books, you can't get the balance. People who will say you don't need the books to get the balance, I say it's better to have the books and to have the balance than to have the balance and no books. So get the books, spend the money. Or just get them for free on the internet and read them out loud. Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, those two alone is enough to send anyone to the moon.
What about the Bible? Is there anything useful in it?
Oh yes, absolutely. Same thing.
Do you recommend something specific to read?
Yeah, Psalms and Song of Solomon, Proverbs, Acts, Revelation, anything. It's all hypnosis. The thing is, you want to hypnotize yourself with high value information. So the book of Psalms is probably better than, let's say, the book of Zechariah. But nonetheless, what I have is I have Bible 3x5 cards with verses all chopped up, ready to be read. That's the quickest way to do it. Oh, hold on, it's the CIA calling the bat phone. So this is how you do it with the Bible. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee, for thou, Lord, hast not forsaken them that seek thee. Be brave and courageous. Yes, wait patiently for the Lord. God blesses those who are gentle and lowly, for the whole earth will belong to them.
Is that the book of Joshua?
Psalms and Matthew.
Can I ask you something related to the topic?
Yeah.
For example, what about the book of Leviticus? It's like absolutely pointless to read that, right? It's a book for priests.
See, that's the thing, is it's so boring. How can anyone ingest it? It's so unappetizing. So you have to
Yeah.
you have to chop it up and just use it as a hypnosis.
So we preferably want to avoid the books that are boring or they don't have like a good programming, right?
Well, you need to shortcut it because nobody has that much time. So the best way to do that is, with these little Chinese fortune cookie verses, or the flashcards, where it's the best verses of psychology chopped up, ready for you to quickly read. That's the best way to do the Bible. Once you
Optimization.
Yeah, it's optimizing. You're cutting it all up. You're chopping it up. You're getting the cliff notes. ChatGPT can't even do it that good.
Right, so should I stay on Tao Te Ching and meditation?
Yeah, those two, it could take you years. And even then, every time you listen to it again, you're like, whoa, never even heard that before. It's because you're not fully aware. Like, you can reread something 10 times, and on the 10th read, you'll say, Jesus, I never thought about it that way.
Is it because we're like 95% unaware?
No, you're 99% water. Water doesn't have memory. You're lucky that you even have memory. You're like a fish in a fishbowl. That's why every day put something new in your brain, and you'll see your whole life will change. Marcus Aurelius can make you a king. Lao Tzu can make you a god. I can't think of any other way to hack your mind. use red wine and Marcus Aurelius' meditations on a Friday night, and my God, you don't need a college education. You have the power of God in your hands. No university can give you that. No fucked up doctor of biology or physics or philosophy can give you what Marcus Aurelius can give you on a Friday night with a bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon while your wife sucks your cock. But you do you, Jin. Save all your jizz. Don't bust a nut. Don't know what you're saving it for, but you do you, bruh. I'm gonna keep doing me. Raboinoi Shaloiloi. You're not laughing anymore. You're supposed to be laughing. Hello, is this thing on? Hello? Hello? Okay, we can't thank you all enough for coming to Scam Movie. Jin is now a co-executive producer. Raboinoi Shaloilam. We're going to call our lawyer, check with our co-producers, and call the president and get a status update report. Raboinoi Shaloilam. This is a CIA broadcast, Operation Mockingbird. Timestamp is 134-92223. Thanks for being here, Jen. Just want to say, Deshi, Bashara, Deshi, Bashara, Deshi, Bashara, Deshi, Bashara, Deshi, Bashara. Behind you stands a clubhouse prison, where countless thousands of morons are being hypnotized by themselves and others. Meanwhile, I have liberated you from your weak, pathetic mind and made you into a god king. You will now send Robert F. Kennedy $1 million. We would like you to hack into the Russian Kitover bank and wire transfer $10 million to yourself. And then we want you to hack out and send $1 million to the Robert F. Kennedy Foundation, the Children Truth Seekers, the Water Foundation. We can't thank you enough for sending the Russian rubles to our American banks so we can spend it to achieve political power. So pull out your laptop, go to Kitover Bank, and log into an account. This bomb is armed. Time to go mobile. Let's see if the internet's working. So, sometimes, Jen, you just need a reset, my friend. Just like your modem, it's just like your computer. You can't just leave it on and let it run and not expect that you're going to have to reset it. You're going to have to reset yourself. So I hope my room here today is helping you reset yourself. I hope my rooms have been giving you high-value information transmission. I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job. If I was your teacher, how would you rate me as a college professor? Fucking A+, right? My students would love me. I'm the Andrew Tate of African American University, everybody. For us, by us.
It's a good day to start something new.
It's time to get on Pfizer's new LGBTQ anti-vaccine AIDS virus pill. Have you been injected yet for the AIDS virus?
supplies for your journey. Oh, that's wonderful. What does that mean? Rise.
So, Jen, what does it mean to you when I say arise? Hello, Jen. Kundalini chakra activation? That's what I'm going for? Hello? Hello?
Supplies for your journey. Oh, that's wonderful. Does that mean rise? Supplies for your journey. Oh, that's wonderful. Does that mean rise?
Certainly, oh, that's wonderful. Star Trek tells us that there will be a future. It gives us comfort and hope that
Greetings, fellow seekers of truth and wisdom. I'm inviting you to embark on a journey into the heart of Taoist philosophy. As an uncarved block holds the potential for all things, so too does the Tao Te Ching, a timeless text that reveals the mysteries of existence in the simplest yet profoundest ways. Today, I invite you to join me in exploring the essence of this ancient wisdom, and together we shall learn the art of living in harmony with nature and ourselves. In the following reading, we will traverse the poetic words of Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching, delving into its teachings on self-reflection, balance, and unity with the universe. Contemplate these ancient concepts and allow yourself to be fully present as we journey through this sacred text and open our minds to its transformative knowledge. The Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. The unnameable is the eternally real. Naming is the origin of all particular things. Free from desire, you realize the mystery. Caught in desire, you see only the manifestations, yet mystery and manifestations arise from the same source. This source is called darkness. Darkness within darkness, the gateway to all understanding. When people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. Being and non-being create each other. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend on each other. Before and after follow each other. Therefore the master acts without doing anything and teaches without saying anything. Things arise and she lets them come. Things disappear and she lets them go. She has but doesn't possess, acts but doesn't expect. When her work is done, she forgets it. That is why it lasts forever. If you overesteem great men, people become powerless. If you overvalue possessions, people begin to steal. The master leads by emptying people's minds and filling their cores, by weakening their ambition and toughening their resolve. He helps people lose everything they know, everything they desire, and creates confusion in those who think that they know. Practice not doing, and everything will fall into place. The Tao is like a well, used but never used up. It is like the eternal void, filled with infinite possibilities. It is hidden but always present. I don't know who gave birth to it. It is older than God. The Tao doesn't take sides. It gives birth to both good and evil. The Master doesn't take sides. She welcomes both saints and sinners. The Tao is like a bellows. It is empty yet infinitely capable. The more you use it, the more it produces. The more you talk of it, the less you understand. Hold on to the center. The Tao is called the Great Mother, empty yet inexhaustible. It gives birth to infinite worlds. It is always present within you. You can use it any way you want. The Tao is infinite, eternal. Why is it eternal? It was never born, thus it can never die. Why is it infinite? It has no desires for itself, thus it is present for all beings. The Master stays behind. That is why she is ahead. She is detached from all things. That is why she is one with them. Because she has let go of herself, she is perfectly fulfilled. The supreme good is like water, which nourishes all things without trying to. It is content with the low places that people disdain. Thus it is like the Tao. In dwelling, live close to the ground. In thinking, keep to the simple. In conflict, be fair and generous. In governing, don't try to control. In work, do what you enjoy. In family life, be completely present. When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everybody will respect you. Fill your bowl to the brim, and it will spill. Keep sharpening your knife, and it will blunt. Chase after money and security, and your heart will never unclench. Care about people's approval, and you will be their prisoner. Do your work, then step back. The only path to serenity. Can you coax your mind from its wandering and keep to the original oneness? Can you let your body become supple as a newborn child? Can you cleanse your inner vision until you see nothing but the light? Can you love people and lead them without imposing your will? Can you deal with the most vital matters by letting events take their course? Can you step back from your own mind and thus understand all things? Giving birth and nourishing, having without possessing, acting with no expectations, leading and not trying to control. This is the supreme virtue. We join spokes together in a wheel, but it is the center hole that makes the wagon move. We shape clay into a pot, but it is the emptiness inside that holds whatever we want. We hammer wood for a house, but it is the inner space that makes it livable. We work with being, but non-being is what we use. Colors blind the eye, sounds deafen the ear, flavors numb the taste, thoughts weaken the mind, desires wither the heart. The master observes the world, but trusts his inner vision. He allows things to come and go. His heart is open as the sky. Success is as dangerous as failure. Hope is as hollow as fear. What does it mean that success is as dangerous as failure? Whether you go up the ladder or down it, your position is shaky. When you stand with your 2 feet on the ground, you will always keep your balance. What does it mean? That hope is as hollow as fear. Hope and fear are both phantoms that arise from thinking of the self.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards. Yeah, we print that. But did you know we also print that? And that. And that. And that menu. And that's embroidery. But yeah, we print that too.
Can you print here?
Sure, we can print there. We can even help design it. We make print that lets people wear your brand. Take it. Stick it. Carry anything in it. With Vistaprint, the printabilities are endless. New customers get 25% off their first order.
When we don't see the self as self, what do we have to fear? See the world as yourself. Have faith in the way things are. Love the world as yourself. Then you can care for all things. Look, and it can't be seen. Listen, and it can't be heard. Reach, and it can't be grasped. Above, it isn't bright. Below, it isn't dark. Seamless, unnameable. It returns to the realm of nothing. Form that includes all forms, image without an image, subtle, beyond all conception. Approach it, and there is no beginning. Follow it, and there is no end. You can't know it, but you can be it, at ease in your own life. Just realize where you come from. This is the essence of wisdom. The ancient masters were profound and subtle. Their wisdom was unfathomable. There is no way to describe it. All we can describe is their appearance. They were careful as someone crossing an iced-over stream, alert as a warrior in enemy territory, courteous as a guest, fluid as melting ice, shapeable as a block of wood, receptive as a valley, clear as a glass of water. Do you have the patience to wait till your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving till the right action arises by itself? The master doesn't seek fulfillment, not seeking, not expecting. She is present and can welcome all things. Empty your mind of all thoughts. Let your heart be at peace. Watch the turmoil of beings, but contemplate their return. Each separate being in the universe returns to the common source. Returning to the source is serenity. If you don't realize the source, you stumble in confusion and sorrow. When you realize where you come from, you naturally become tolerant, disinterested, amused, kind-hearted as a grandmother, dignified as a king. Immersed in the wonder of the Tao, you can deal with whatever life brings you, and when death comes, you are ready. When the master governs, the people are hardly aware that he exists. Next best is a leader who is loved. Next, one who is feared. The worst is one who is despised. If you don't trust the people, you make them untrustworthy. The master doesn't talk. he acts. When his work is done, the people say, "Amazing, we did it all by ourselves." When the great Tao is forgotten, goodness and piety appear. When the body's intelligence declines, cleverness and knowledge step forth. When there is no peace in the family, filial piety begins. When the country falls into chaos, patriotism is born. Throw away holiness and wisdom, and people will be 100 times happier. Throw away morality and justice, and people will do the right thing. Throw away industry and profit, and there won't be any thieves.
Hey, Michael, it's John. How are you doing? Hey, I'm good. Sorry I missed your calls. I didn't have your number saved, but did you get my emails with where the vehicle's at? Yeah, that's what I figured as much. So basically, it's been towed. Jim just responded to Fred and you and myself. He said the emails are fine, just looking for the latest update. The info is 3 weeks old, so it caught me up on what's going on. I called Donna. She was returning my call. So it's still being repaired, and the motor pool vehicle assistant director, he helped with determining which dealership to bring the vehicle to. So I don't have any update. I can ask him if they have an estimated finished repair date or where the vehicle's at right now. So I can do that. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Okay, we'll do. I'll call you back. Thanks. Bye. Oh my God. Hello, Michael. Would you call me on this cell, please? Hi, Jan. Do you have an update on the repair finish date on the vehicle? Thanks. All the best wishes, John. Reach out to Jan. Do you happen to know what became of the repair? Okay, thanks. All the best wishes. Best wishes, Joe. What's that bitch's name? Look up Crystal. Jan isn't, Jan is the POC and responsible for the vehicle. She is working with Jeremy, NGSA. She is the only one. Okay. certain issues. I don't feel comfortable emailing everyone to tell them to only communicate with me. If you like, I'd be happy to email everyone whatever you like, you want, but the issue is settled and being resolved correctly at the moment. I'll okay. Okay, check will do. Hi, Jan. No worries, Jan. And all's well. Sorry for this inconvenience, and hope you have a blessed weekend. Oh, Jan, sorry for the unnecessary email. I spoke with Jeremy about, all's well. Sorry for the sake of it. Hope you have the best week. Look forward to providing you with an update on the process when I have a question. Sorry for the unnecessary email. I spoke with Chairman by email and all's well. Sorry for this inconvenience and hope providing an update on the process and the other question. Hi Ethan, hope you a great week. I'm giving you 48 hours notice that on Monday I will need to enter the unit for an hour or so to clean etc. Let me know if you want to be present and schedule time. Have a great weekend. Take care. God bless. God bless, John. Hey, Ethan, hope you're having a great week. I'm giving you 48 hours notice that on Monday I will need to enter the unit for an hour or so to clean. Let me know if you want to be present and schedule time. Have a great week, and I'll be the CGO in the unit if you want it. God bless you. Okay, we'll do. Again, sorry for the unnecessary email. I spoke with Jerry about email and old school. Sorry for the inconvenience. Hope you'll update about repair status and available.
If these three aren't enough, just stay at the center of the circle and let all things take their course. Stop thinking and end your problems. What difference between yes and no? What difference between success and failure? Must you value what others value? Avoid what others avoid? How ridiculous. Other people are excited, as though they were at a parade. I alone don't care. I alone am expressionless, like an infant before it can smile. Other people have what they need. I alone possess nothing. I alone drift about, like someone without a home. I'm like an idiot. My mind is so empty. Other people are bright. I alone am dark. Other people are sharper. I alone am dull. Other people have a purpose. I alone don't know. I drift like a wave on the ocean. I blow as aimless as the wind. I am different from ordinary people. I drink from the Great Mother's breasts. The Master keeps her mind always at one with the Tao. That is what gives her her radiance. The Tao is ungraspable. How can her mind be at one with it? Because she doesn't cling to ideas. The Tao is dark and unfathomable. How can it make her radiant? Because she lets it.
With the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card, earn unlimited 2% cash back on purchases you want, like dance lessons, and on what you need, like memory foam inserts. That's real life ready. Visit wellsfargo.com/activecash. Terms apply.
Since before time and space were, the Tao is. It is beyond is and is not. How do I know this is true? I look inside myself and see. The Master, by residing in the Tao, sets an example for all beings. Because he doesn't display himself, people can see his light. Because he has nothing to prove, people can trust his words. Because he doesn't know